What are some NSFW life advice everyone should know? If you are a woman and you have stopped menstruating, i.e., gone through menopause completely, and then at some later date begin to bleed from your vagina, see your doctor immediately. This can be a sign of cancer, but many women miss it because bleeding from their vagina is something so common it isn't worth looking into. Men, fondle your eggs now and again. Make sure there's no unusual lumps or pain. If there is, do not put it off. Get that shit checked out. Source: testicular cancer survivor. Water is the opposite of lube. Always pee after sex/masturbation. If they aren't legally allowed to consent, leave them alone. If you think anyone you're sharing a room with won't notice you getting with your partner, you are wrong. They are always awake. Always. Soap makes it sting when you pee. Don't stick fingers up your lady if you've been cooking with peppers. You can break your dick. Be careful when you're gal on top. Invest in your sex toys. Don't cheap out, go for silicone, glass, or another non-porous material. Shower before you have sex. Tiny particles, like glitter, machine ools, and metal slivers, picked up from work can travel to your genitals through your cloths. Source: my partner works in a factory working with metals, and I found the metal bit the hard way. Bleeding off cycle is quite the mood dampener. Least I didn't get a toxic shock reaction. If you have difficulty discussing what kinks you're into or are going to be embarrassed if you suspect your partner won't be into the same things you are, there are several kink tests you and your partner can take. You both take the test separately and only see what you match on. Find one that is as detailed as you need and that has safeguards against spamming everything to see what the other person is into. If you want to last longer in bed, men, relax your glutes and quads when you feel like you're going to come, and you'll have a much better chance of not doing that and lasting longer. You can notice the next time you're about to come how tense your legs and glutes are. This has helped me immensely in bed. If you go on a road trip, even a short one, bring toilet paper. When you've got to shit, you've got to shit. It's slower than you think. For my straight dudes out there, using toys with and on your partners doesn't make you less of a man. You are not in competition with her vibrators. They are tools to bring her to orgasm efficiently and without giving you or her RSI. Batman has a tool for all occasions. Be like Batman. $10 worth of condoms is cheaper than 18 years of child support. Never go from anal to vaginal or oral. That's a one-way street. Don't let your partner slam down onto your penis after it slips out. You will break your dick. Wash your belly button, you dirty animal. Never get cum in your eye. It feels like stabbing your eye with hot knives. Edit: to my sons, if they read this comment, I warned you. Peruse my profile at your own risk. Also, this is sage advice. You're welcome. Don't jerk off with shampoo, it'll feel good for a second until it gets inside your pisser. Read the bed, not the room in this case. If she's digging it, don't change that. Don't try to do whatever you're doing better, don't try other things. If it works for her, just go with it. If you're not sure, don't be afraid to ask. That being said, ladies, if a guy asks if he's doing good, don't save his feelings. Let him know it's not enjoyable and to try something else / tell him what he should do. The moment you'll figure out a happy medium, you'll be in the bedroom more than any other room. Don't underestimate yourself. Make sure you're always taken care of, clean / cut nails and hair, deodorant, cologne / perfume, and brush your teeth before a date. Minty fresh breath works wonders. Lube up, especially for anal. Don't put anything in your butt that doesn't have a flared base. There's a lot of room back there, and as you relax you don't want anything to slip all the way inside. That'll be a very awkward ER visit. Don't have sex on a beach. Sand gets in places where you would never want sand. Don't stand on chairs with wheels. The clit isn't a speed bag. Also, changing position is a good way to not blow your load while giving yourself a chance to calm down without it being obvious. This isn't really NSFW, but wash your genitals every day. Thread carefully when it slips out. An unexpected arrival in the other hole is traumatic. Get tested for STIs. Don't take your partner's word for it that they're healthy. Edit to change clean to healthy. Pee after you have sex. Never skip on it. Trim your nails. Don't just trim, sand those rough edges down with the emery board/file attachment. Freshly cut nails can do as much if not more damage than longer, well-kept nails. Edit, as has been pointed out down thread, you can also use denim to smooth and buff any burrs. Edit 2, 8 years on this site and this is now my highest rated comment by far. Thanks Reddit. Always, and I mean always, masturbate before making a big decision. Post-nut clarity can go a long way in keeping you from doing something stupid. Edit spelling. Always have a safe word. Edit, this blew up, thanks for the upvotes. Use condoms on your insertable sex toys. Easier cleanup and protecting your body from the toxic not great stuff in mainstream toys. Ever wonder why they say novelty use only? Because many cheap out on ingredients and that shit can mess you up. Even better, use your expired condoms since it's less important if they don't function at 100%, and then you aren't throwing them out unused. I've learned to ask the women I end up in bed with what they like, or just tell them to guide me when we start playing. It shows her you care, and so far none of them were turned off by that. It lets her finish. Profit. Edit, wow, this blew up. I don't mean guide me as in take charge, just direct me a bit. A bit to the left/right, show me where she likes it, take my hand and nudge it or press it, etc. I try to read how she reacts to the things I do, but I don't know what does and does not feel good for her specifically. Everyone is different. For example, the girl I'm dating with likes it rough. She really likes a lot of pressure and friction around her clitoris. The one I was with before her was the total opposite and required a more gentle approach. There is no shame in asking her if she likes it, there's nothing wrong with saying what would be better. The girl I'm with now, for example, I noticed what she liked and didn't like just from trying and teasing. She was clearly enjoying what I was doing, and at one point she yelled, "Everything you're doing is perfect, but move your right hand a bit more to the left." Which I did, and she had a pretty intense orgasm not too long after that. Guys, try some condoms of different sizes on to see what fits best. Magnums and such are not just for length but also girth. If you have trouble maintaining an erection in condoms, they could just be too tight/small. Antibiotics can counteract your birth control and cause you to end up pregnant. Not sure if anyone else mentioned, but I think it's important to say. Edit, this is not necessarily true for all antibiotics. It's specifically true for the drug rifampin, also known as Rifadin and Rimactane. It can affect not just the pill but other forms such as the ring and shit too. Clench your butt cheeks to make an untimely or inconvenient boner go down quickly. The shape of a woman's labia has absolutely nothing to do with how much sex she has had or whether or not she is a virgin. The only factor is genetics. Labia come in all shapes and sizes. Sometimes they change a bit in early puberty, but it has nothing to do with having sex or touching the area. Same with breasts. Sex does not change them at all. Age, weight, hormones, possibly from medication, and pregnancy can. But not sex. There is no special female hormone released once a woman is sexually active that causes physical changes to her body. Other than possibly breaking the hymen if it is still intact, the female body is not changed by sex. Getting older and going through puberty changes a woman's body, not losing her virginity. Virginity isn't a physical thing, it's a concept. You can't lose your virginity without having sex, like from using a tampon. That's ridiculous. Tampons are not pleasurable, either. At all. Just because he doesn't come from a BJ doesn't mean he's not enjoying it. Don't get offended by it. Not all guys can come from one, but it's not like it doesn't feel great. Don't put your finger anywhere you'd be afraid to put your dick. Heard that one a lot in the army. As a guy, if you got any insecurities, dick size, come too fast, performance anxiety. Just know, a good pussy eating can make up for essentially all of that. How someone kisses and touches you is probably how they want you to touch them. Someone nibble your ear? They almost certainly want you to nibble theirs. You should always carry a condom or two in your wallet, purse, pocket, etc. aside from the obvious reasons of preventing pregnancy, STDs, etc. If SHTF, they're invaluable. Because in a survival situation a condom is perhaps one of the most versatile things in existence. They can be used to store and carry water, as much as a full liter. Light one on fire and it will burn hot enough to ignite wet wood, just don't breathe the fumes. You can use one instead of cordage to tie things up, just stretch out and tie a knot. Put your hand in and you have an instant sanitary glove. Put over your foot under the sock to protect blisters or keep a cut from being exposed to the elements. Blow up and use as a float for a fishing hook. Use as a makeshift tourniquet. Put one over your phone or camera or flares or anything else you don't want to get wet. The list goes on. And they're cheap. Big dick does not mean better sex. A lot of times people with smaller penises are more willing to go above and beyond. Guys, get the girl off first. Everything is juicier afterwards, and she will appreciate your skill and thoughtfulness. Make it all about her, and she will probably reciprocate fully. If you're using your hand to get her off, curl your middle and ring fingers along the roof of her insides in a come here motion, but be sure your fingernails are trimmed. If you don't know what to say for dirty talk during sex, follow this formula until you feel comfortable improvising. Say what you're going to do. I'm going to fuck you so hard / I'm gonna ride the dick like it's Disneyland. Say what you're doing. I'm fucking you so hard / I'm riding this dick like it's the pony I always wanted. Say what you just did. I just fucked you so hard / I just rode that dick like it was the last train out of town or whatever floats your boat. Also, men making noise is hot. Please, moan and groan when we do things you like. It's sexy and helps us figure out which techniques work best on ya. Press the vagina and clitoris simultaneously to take a screenshot. Shut the fuck up and lawyer up. Your words will be used against you. Know that you can have an amazing sex session while your partner has the opposite experience. So listen to their body and don't be self-serving during sex. Verbally communicate your likes and dislikes in bed outside of the sex session. If you end up in an altercation, try not to get caught throwing haymakers with them, if you can avoid it. Best case scenario, try work them around in a circle, preferably moving away from the hand they want to use most, then get a hold of their shirt in the region of their dominant shoulder / collar, pull down hard and keep hold. Get them off balance with the pull and start chucking knucks where their neck meets their shoulders and right in the facial area. Try not to hit their skull. The more pain you can inflict early and often, the more likely you are to end it fast. Edit: I do not condone violence and I do not take responsibility for your dumbass actions. If you can run away, run away. This whole thing is about self-preservation. Edit 2, now that this has gotten a couple of upvotes, I want to emphasize that nobody should fight another person if they can avoid doing so. There are always consequences to actions and you need to be willing to accept whatever comes after an altercation. Additionally, please keep in mind that self-defense must be both necessary and in equal measure to a threat. You can't claim self-defense after ragdolling some person. That's not how it works in most states / countries. Use 2 contraceptives as much as possible, condom and birth control, if you have no plans in having a child yet. Men, Rule 1, don't stick your dick in crazy. Women, Rule 1, don't let crazy stick its duck in you. Wear a hard hat and other pedit, thanks kind stranger for the silver. Not very NSFW, but never fart in a trench coat. The clitoris is a largish organ that extends from the visible portion and around the vulva on both sides of the vaginal opening. The visible portion feels good when you rub it, but you don't have to try to start a fire with it. Gentle circles to start, then listen to your lady. Also, it's located front and center under the clitoral hood. Also, it's made from the same bits as the head of men's penises, to give men an idea of the sensitivity. No, women's vaginas do not loosen up due to lots of sex. If you think a girl is too loose, it's because she's super turned on and enjoying what you're doing. Vaginas stretch when we are turned on. Sorry dudes, if you've only fucked tight, dry vaginas, you probably suck at sex. Tightness can be controlled by the woman flexing some muscles down there, but no one wants to focus on keeping things flexed all the time. Shit gets tired. No, the hymen is not a freshness seal. It can be torn by any number of things, including a gynecologist during a routine checkup. And it doesn't just disappear either. It might tear, but it does still exist. Hymens naturally have holes in them, gotta let the menstrual blood out somehow, and if there isn't a hole, the hymen is medically removed to save the girl's life. Not everyone even has a hymen that is noticeable anyway. No, usually girls do not like it when you jam your dick into a cervix. No, it is not possible to penetrate it. Hitting that thing hurts like a motherfucker to a lot of girls, and big dicks aren't always as great as they seem. Many women cannot orgasm from penetration alone. That's what the clit is there for. Remember how it's a penis head analog? It feels good when it gets rubbed. Just like your dick. Fucking pay some attention to it. Lastly, women have 3 holes down there: anus, vagina, urethra. We do not pee from our vagina. We cannot hold in our period, nor can we control or often predict when it will start or end. If we could, we would, trust me. This is what tampons and menstrual cups and pads are for. No, we do not take pleasure from sticking a dry piece of cotton or silicone cup up our cooters. If you are threatened by a tampon, please see the section about the clitoris. 2-part advice related to each other. Do not ever feel like you have to perform any sexual act that you are uncomfortable with just because a person is pressuring you. If it's an anxiety you feel comfortable working through with that person, that's fine and requires lots of good communication, but do not budge if it's something that you are against. More importantly, do not be a partner who pressures your significant other into a sexual act that they are uncomfortable with. If you want to communicate with them, find out why they are uncomfortable, and work through it together, then good, but do not pressure someone. Enthusiastic consent is key for sex, whether it's a one-night stand or a long-term monogamous/non-monogamous relationship. This advice goes regardless of the gender dynamic. I know men who've pressured women, women who've pressured men, same-gender couples who go through this, etc. Don't think that because you're different you can't fall into this. Be a good partner. Bidets are amazing, not just for basic cleaning, but for a go-to enema. The trick is to figure out the right angle and pressure, and push out as the water hits you as though you're going poo. Same tip for opening up your anus if you're going to receive anal sex, BTW. Turn off the water, hold it all in, and then push it out. It's super helpful if you have BM issues or just want to feel extra clean. Be careful of being too aggressive with that water pressure though. If you menstruate, please give menstrual cups a try. It might take you a while to find one that fits correctly, and there is a learning curve for insertion and removal, but they can be incredibly comfortable and convenient. They also last a long time and reduce so much waste since you don't have to go through pads/tampons. Additionally, if you want to sanitize them, get those sanitizing bags for baby bottles. You just add a small amount of water and the cup, and microwave that bad boy. So much easier than boiling it in a pot of water. Other options like period panties can also be great. Menstrual cups have just worked the best for me. Baby wipes are not just for babies. They're excellent as all-purpose wet naps, plus they're great for camping or even those nights when you're too damn tired to take a full shower. Swipe one under your pits and through your bits, and you're good for one more day. If you struggle to orgasm as a female, have sex with a full bladder. It makes everything more sensitive inside. Don't try to learn from porn. Most of what they do doesn't actually feel good and is more about putting on a show. Edit. Since this got decent attention, I just want to add, for anyone saying this is why I prefer amateur, don't ever use Pornhub. They have no way to verify age or consent for their videos, so there's a decent chance someone you're watching is either a minor, involved in sex trafficking, or the video was uploaded without permission. If you think a lady of the night is a cop, ask them to flash you. Cops won't flash you and hookers are gonna blow you for money, so nips ain't shit. Do the sex sometimes. Never beat it using icy hot, grimacing face. You'll never cure a UTI with cranberry juice. You need antibiotics. Go to the doctor before you get a kidney infection or worse. Always keep one leg in your underwear when masturbating. It's so you don't lose them, and you're halfway to getting them back on in a hurry. Ladies, wash the folds of your vagina. The labia minor and major women do get smegma there. Do not douche. If you have to defend yourself, use a screwdriver or frying pan instead of a kitchen knife to make sure you are not suspected of anything sinister. From experience, wait. The first person I had sex with hasn't talked to me in 3 years, and for good reason. We were stupid sophomores in high school and we didn't need sex in our relationship. I'd recommend waiting for someone you trust, and sometime when both of you are ready for it. From my brain, wear a fucking condom, boys. Even if she says she prefers without it. There's condoms out there designed to make sex feel good for both of you, and help protect you both from STDs/unwanted pregnancy. Seriously. Wear a fucking condom. Butt rags. Big deal. Get a set of 6 inches by 6 inches washcloths and keep one in your shower at all times. Use a bit of body soap and clean specifically your asshole and between and under your ass cheeks. Many people consider this common knowledge, many others are completely unaware because it is NSFW life advice that doesn't come up often. Clean your butthole every day. It will make a big difference. Edit. I see many in the comments who seem to take personal offense at the idea that proper butthole cleansing requires more than just your hands/fingers. I do not mean to offend my poo-poo fingered friends, I just prefer not to directly touch my asshole if I can avoid it. Cut back on watching porn. I used to watch a lot of porn growing up, and as I became sexually active I found that I became increasingly insecure because I expected to be like the guys in the movies. Not only that, but I became desensitized to nudity and finding arousal in my partners became harder. I'd even lose steam and my erection in the middle of the act. Which can make your partner feel undesirable and make you feel inadequate, which only compounds the problem. It took a loving partner and dedication to overcome those barriers. It's tough to cut porn altogether, I know. But cutting back and reducing how much you masturbate goes a long way. If you ever need to put a key into a keyhole in the dark, hold the key so that your thumb runs along the length of the key and the tip of your thumb sticks out a tiny bit past the end of the key. Then you can locate the keyhole by feel and guide the key in easily. This also works for plugging a cable into your guitar without looking, and it also works in other situations. Always hold and comfort partner after sex. And I'm not talking about that weak shit of laying on your back and reaching for your phone while your soul lays on your shoulder. I'm talking about chilling together for a while longer after the fact. This is especially true if you're into really kinky and rough stuff, because the drop-off of adrenaline after can be real hard without the comforting of the other person. No to sex in a hot tub. And that's not for the pool guy. Wash every bit. If it has a fold, flap, or crack, get it clean. Yep, that means cleaning between the cheeks, and between your toes too. Only in movies is sweaty sex hot. What is hot, sir, is a shower right before. If you can smell it, so can they, times 10. Hairy guys, put the sheet over your chest before she lays her head down on it. You try to relax with your face in a husky. Focus on her, you will not be a problem. Unless you are her too, can't say how that works exactly. She may need some manual help to get there, it doesn't reflect on your manhood. Edit. So apparently quite a number of folks like the hairy chest. It's more situational than I expected. Males, after urinating push up between your testicles, it will force out any drippage. You do not owe anyone sex. I am still learning this, honestly. You don't owe the girl all over you sex. You don't owe the man who bought you dinner sex. You do not owe anyone sex. Fun fact, after you have a baby, if you are breastfeeding, when you have sex, you can squirt milk across the room during orgasm. Never, ever, ever use nair on your balls, ever. Staring at boobs is like staring at the sun. You can glance at it for a brief second. Heck, maybe you can look for a few seconds. But if you stare too long, something is going to end up hurting. Don't breath out when you are about to do a line of coke. Do not have sex in an airplane bathroom. Don't be silly, wrap your willy. I feel some people might laugh at this. But for those of you who don't know and haven't learned the hard way, do not wear two condoms. The friction between the two condoms makes them fail much more easily than if you just wear one. Wash your hands after you masturbate, don't just keep eating Doritos. Don't suck dirty dick. Excessive masturbation using soap as lube can cause penis to bleed and skin to peel off. Learn how to dance. People that can dance are people that can fuck. Rhythm and grace. Poop belongs in the toilet, not the shower. White/clear vaginal discharge is natural even if you've never had sex before. However, if you see any other color of discharge, go to the gyno. Don't marry the first person you fuck. Just because you have had sex with a person once, does not mean that you are entitled to it whenever you want. And if they say no, respect their decision and don't put them down for it. Never ever stick your dick in crazy. Even if it's a one-night stand. It's gonna be a hell of a relationship if you're hooked up. You can definitely get STDs from unprotected oral sex. I got oral chlamydia once and it was extremely painful. Never again. If she's not wet, perform oral and make her come. Even if she doesn't naturally get super wet, she still will be. And if that's not doing the trick, have lube in the bedroom. Go slow at first but build to a rhythm. Fucking rhythm. Aim, try different angles. Talk, discuss what positions you think are hot, feel great. It's not all in your legs and hips. Use your arms. E.g. if it works for your bodies, a hand behind head and elbow on the shoulder lets you move her with your arms while you're thrusting, again in rhythm. Use your elbow and pull her down as you go in, don't pull the back of her head unless she's into it, which you can totally ask. It's her choice. I'm sure you can figure out how to use your arms in other positions. Get your mouth involved. If she's really digging it, she might want to focus on what she's feeling, so lick her nipple or suck her neck, collarbone, ear less than, yes this is in rhythm too. Ear, greater than breath. You're doing exercise, hearing that can be hot, suck on the earlobe when in doubt. Neck, greater than, suck gently when going slower, suck slightly harder when faster. Under the ear as soon as the neck begins is sensitive, work down to collarbone if you want. Breast, greater than, suck and lick nipple in rhythm. Talk, before, after, during if you need something changed. Foster environment where she feels comfortable changing anything she needs to. Foreplay always unless no foreplay is your foreplay, kinky people I'm looking at you. GLHF. Vaseline is not lube, use water-based lube. Avoid flavors if you're not sure how your flora and fauna will react. I was at a sex toy party like 10 years ago and our friend got smacked so hard after the presenter told us this. Followed by a very high-pitched "I told you so." Don't watch too much porn. Wear condoms. Pull-out method is only 78% effective and does not prevent STDs, neither does birth control. Just be safe so you don't catch something that can ruin your life. Men, if you don't have it in the hips, have it in the lips. This is mostly a message to younger women/girls. I fucking guarantee, that your vagina is not weird shaped or weird colored. Every vagina is different. Some girls have puffy lips. Some have tiny lips. Some have longer inner lips. Some have large clitorises. Some have tiny clitorises. Some are red. Some are pale. Some are very dark. All of this is 100% normal. Just like penises, vaginas come in all shapes and sizes and colors. Don't be ashamed of your body because it isn't a replica of the girl in the porn you watched last night. Don't be ashamed because it doesn't match the art you saw online. I guarantee your vagina is totally fine as it is. If you are unsure and you want to get a second opinion, it is okay to speak with a doctor. They are here to help. Plus, if something is actually wrong, they're the best person to spot it and help you out. Win/win, bitches. And please know that if you are ever shamed by someone else for having a weird vagina, know that you aren't the problem. They're just sexually inexperienced and they haven't seen a vagina in real life. Plus, they're fucking stupid. If you ever need to kill a person, stab, hit or punch as viciously as you can at the neck 45 degrees between the throat and side. The common carotid arteries are here, one either side, they supply blood to the brain. You can knock someone unconscious or even kill them by simply hitting it hard enough. If you're using a knife, you need to go 1.5 inches deep, unconsciousness follows in 5 seconds and death follows in 12. I'm learning all sorts of NSFW advices that I'll never even use because I have no life. When you're browsing Reddit at work and your boss comes by, just press Windows+D. It instantly shows the desktop. Everyone else seems to be only talking about having sex, so let me talk about something far more important. Pooping. If you can, get used to using a bidet. If you don't have one, wipe your butt with TP after you poop and then just pour some water out of a mug onto your asshole and wash the general area with your other hand. It will seem weird and gross initially, but you will thank me eventually. A clean asshole after a shit feels so fresh. You can always wash your hands thoroughly with soap afterwards. If you can't have an honest and frank conversation about a kink, you are not ready to engage in that kink with that partner. Don't cheat. Control your breathing, it will help you last if you want to climax together. Your boss is likely secretly audio recording the office. Unless it's a living breathing human being, don't go sticking your dick into anything else. Edit, ha ha ha, yes, adults only. A grandma is fine if you're into that. Buy more barnacle and less hentai, you weirdo. When engaging in sexy talk, don't say yeah. You like that, you fucking retard?